qualifying for the semifinals in the MLS Cup playoffs.
The Stanley Cup rematch we've all been waiting for. Panthers and Oilers faced off at Amaranth Bank Arena.
And it's goal bound for FIU because they're eligible for a bowl game for the first time since 2019. All of this and more coming up on the sideline.
Hello, South Florida, and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your favorite South Florida teams. I'm Dylan Pizzay.
And I'm Nicolette Esper, and the Sideline starts now. We're starting off with Inter Miami, who faced off FC Cincinnati again last night at the TQL Stadium to advance to the Eastern Conference Final.
But this time, Coach Mancherio insisted Miami was prepared for the game. Miami previously failed to beat Cincinnati during the 2025 MLS regular season, but dominated this game with Messi scoring the first goal, followed by 3 assists, resulting in Miami 4, Cincinnati 0. Miami will be facing New York City FC at Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, November 29th.
And Miami picked up their 4th straight win last night, taking down the 76ers in Philadelphia. Norman Powell led the way with 32 points, and Ricky Colel-Ware had a breakout night, 20 points and 16 rebounds. Jaime Jaquez Jr. also added 22, and Bam Adebayo chipped in 18 as Miami controlled most of the game. The Sixers were without Joe Embiid again, but Tyrese Maxey still put up 27 for them, and Philly made it to a 2-point game in the 4th, but Miami answered with a 13-2 run to close it out, 127-117. The Heat are back home tonight against the Dallas Mavericks. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m.
Miami dominated Virginia Tech behind a huge day from Carson Beck and freshman star Makali Toney. Beck threw for 320 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Canes jumped out to a 20-3 halftime lead. Toney set career highs with 12 catches and 146 yards and put the game away with a night-night touchdown in the final seconds, making the final score 34-17. Miami now own 3 straight by 17 or more and keeps its ACC title hopes alive. The Canes are headed to Pittsburgh for Saturday's game.
Well, it was a tough game for the Florida Panthers, who faced off against the Edmonton Oilers at home on Saturday. The Oilers took the lead in the first period and never looked back, with Edmonton Jack Roslovic scoring 2 of the 3 Oilers goals in the first. The Panthers tried to rebound in the second with 2 goals, but it was sealed by Edmonton in the third with 2 more goals. The final score was Edmonton 6, Panthers 3. The Panthers hit the road to face the Nashville Predators this week.
And now it's time for our biggest W's and L's of the week. I'll start us off with my biggest W coming at the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix, where Max Verstappen started behind his championship rival, and by the end of the first corner had passed him for the lead of the race. The Dutch Messiah never looked back, securing a dominant victory over 20 seconds ahead of championship leader Lando Norris.
All right, well, coming off of that, my biggest W has got to go to the Miami Heat, who we were just talking about. They pulled off a they rolled into Philly and completely secured a shifting victory, and this 127-117. What I want to talk about here is their momentum and their new people coming off of the bench and completely dominating. Like we mentioned, Norman Powell dropped a season-high 32. Colel-Ware dominated with 20 points and 16 boards, and Miami completely controlled the game from start to finish. I mean, even with the 2-point game in the 4th that Philly had shifted to, the Heat turned on a gear. They were going on a 13-2 run to completely slam the door shut, and Jaime Jaquez Jr., he was shining with 22 points. We saw Bam going for 18 as always, and the death just kept rolling. It was on all cylinders. Miami handed Philly a reality check pretty much on a night that the Sixers pretty much brought all of their 2001. This was a dedication night. It was this nostalgia energy that they had, and for Miami, it's now a four-game win streak, and it was a complete team performance. And it's kind of a we're here kind of message to the East, so that's why Miami Heat. I know it's confusing, right? I mean, a Northeast team, you'd think it was my biggest W, but no, it's going to the Miami Heat.
You know, you talk about firing on all cylinders. I want to bring it back to cylinders. We're shifting back into gear now with my biggest L. Unfortunately, once again, same as last time, the McLaren Formula One team. A downpour in qualifying led to a difficult session for many drivers. But despite being second in the driver's standings, all McLaren's Oscar Piastri could manage was fifth, while his teammate Lando Norris took pole position. That, however, is only setting the scene for this tremendous L. At the start of the race, both Piastri and Norris lost positions and had to claw their ways to recovery drives, with Norris ending up second and Piastri fourth. However, after a post-race inspections, both of the cars were found to be illegal, and they had their results and points stripped away, letting the championship rival Max Verstappen go level on points with Piastri. The pair are now only 24 behind the bottle factory Lando Norris, with only one sprint and 2 Grand Prix remaining.
Well, for both of those guys, I mean, what a devastation that must have been. I mean, you think the disqualification just after? So upsetting. But even more upsetting, Philly fans, you better cover your eyes, because this week was basically a citywide L, as we just mentioned. The Sixers lost, but now my biggest L is going to the Philadelphia Eagles, who completely blew a 21-0 lead and let Dak Prescott completely cook them in a 24-21 collapse in Dallas. The Eagles started hot, and then everything fell apart. Fumbles, missed execution, 0 run game, and a defense that let Prescott break Tony Romo's all-time passing record and lead a 21-point comeback. It was Philly's first loss after leading by 21 since 1999, and it let the Cowboys snag their first comeback of that size in over a decade. A record broken, a lead wasted, and a division rival celebrating at your own expense, pretty much. So that's my biggest L of the week. Definitely a devastation for, I mean, this is one of the biggest rivalries in NFL for sure.
Yeah, that is major.
But we have to go to break, but stick around, because here's what's next on the sideline. We got some fun things coming up with an analyst on FIU football, but Simon's going to take a time out, and we're returning just after the break.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back. And this past Saturday night brought a long-awaited era to the FIU football fans after a hard-fought game where the Panthers didn't take the lead until the fourth quarter. FIU secured a win over Jacksonville State.
And with it, their first bowl eligibility since 2019, we have sideline analyst Raquel Kurt joining us.
Thank you for having me. Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about this moment for FIU?
Yes, so this is a new era for FIU. It's a success that really starts at the top, with head coach Willie Simmons, who's made an immediate impact in his first season with a bowl game win. When a program like FIU goes years without a postseason opportunity, the challenge becomes more than tactical. It's psychological. Simmons came in with a clear priority: shift the culture, break old habits, and rebuild from the inside out. In a previous press conference at the Liberty Flame game, he shared what it was previously like.
We can't let a lost battle cause us to lose the war. And in the past, I think that's what happened. A bad play happens, the entire mood of the team goes down.
Simmons shared that having a sensitive morale really affects the results on the field. It has brought on a new mantra to the locker room, stating that no matter what happens, continue to play the next play, bringing a refreshing mindset that regardless of results, the players need to keep their head down and keep pushing.
Well, no, now you talked about the kind of psychological side of it. Tell us a little bit more about how Simmons' kind of error brought into the technical side and how it works in through the game.
Coach Simmons has zeroed in on strengthening the offense, starting with a major move back in January, signing quarterback Joe Pazinski, and let's just say Pazinski came in ready. In the Middle Tennessee road game, the redshirt senior put up a total of 5 touchdowns, 4 passing and 1 rushing, making him the first Panther in school history to hit that mark in a single game. Not a bad way to introduce yourself in year 1. So far this season, Pazinski has 78 completions on 128 attempts with 9 touchdowns. For comparison, the quarterback that he replaced, K'Wan Jenkins, has 142 completions on 225 attempts with only 6 touchdowns. Pazinski's emergence aligns perfectly with the culture shift that Simmons is pushing. The offense is clicking, the mentality is shifting, and with the bowl eligibility, I'm going to say the blue and gold, they're ready to start winning.
What a time to be a Panthers fan. Now, while the bowl opportunity is still unknown, it's clear that Panthers are reclaiming their potential. This Saturday, FIU will face the Sam Houston Cats for their final regular season game.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Raquel.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nice little mention at FIU. Always good to see them doing great, right?
Right.
Well, we're heading now to Esteban Rodriguez, who's got our weekly game picks.
Hey guys, what's up? Let's get into it, all right? Inter Miami dropped an unbelievable performance last night against Cincinnati FC in the MLS playoffs. Messi and the team put up 4 goals and allowed none. Kind of like what we saw them do against Nashville a few weeks ago. They have looked unstoppable this postseason, and they have made one thing clear. They want the cup, and I think they are well on their way to get it. They will face New York City, and I think that Inter Miami will take them on this matchup. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins. Now, they're coming back from their bye week after a much-needed win in Spain against the Washington Commanders to put themselves in the hunt for the playoffs. They have had a few manageable wins. They will have a few manageable wins later in the season, starting with the New Orleans Saints. It has not been their year. They are 2-9 on the season, and I believe that they will be 2-10 after Sunday, so give me the Dolphins. All right? Last up, we got the Miami Heat, and they have ironically been on fire. They have swept in the road trip and come home to face the Dallas Mavericks, who have had almost no highlights this season other than their first pick, Cooper Flag. The Heat are almost undefeated at home, and I believe they will continue to defend Kaseya tonight. Give me the Heat. That's it for today, guys. Now I'll send it back to the anchors.
And just a reminder that if you want to keep up with updates, fun segments, and more from our crew, you can follow our Instagram for all things Sideline. Follow us at sideline.caplin. And that's all the time we have today. I'm Nicolette Esper.
And I'm Dylan Basay. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Sideline.